How did the game's greatest champion find himself in a legal battle with the corporation he founded? In this video, we are going to discuss the inside story of Jack Nicklaus's legal battle against his own company. The Nicklaus companies are suing Jack Nicklaus. Nicklaus is being sued for breach of contract, tortious interference, and violation of fiduciary obligation with the Nicklaus companies. As he entered the witness stand in a filthy courtroom in Lower Manhattan, the 82-year-old defendant took care to avoid the electrical lines taped to the floor. The clerk requested him to give his name and company address. Jack William Nicklaus, he said. I don't even know a business address. He gave his home address instead. In a way, that was the entire case right there. As seen by his future testimony, Niklaus still has keen recall, so he may have decided to forget his company location, which would have been understandable given the circumstances. The plaintiff in the lawsuit is Niklaus's own company, and the case is titled, predictably, Nicklaus Companies, LLC versus Jack W. Nicklaus. The case was filed in May 2022 and is still active. The case presents a number of difficult legal concerns, the most pressing of which is, what the heck is going on here? The Golden Bear, Jack Nicklaus, is being sued by Nicklaus Companies. An old golf star was sued in the Supreme Court of the state of New York for breach of contract with the Nicklaus Companies, as well as tortious interference and violation of fiduciary responsibility. Nicklaus Companies filed the complaint. Howard Milstein, the chairman, president, and CEO of New York Private Bank and Trust in New York, serves as its executive chairman. Nicklaus Companies, LLC versus GBI Investors Incorporated and Jack W. Nicklaus is the name of the litigation. GBI Investors Incorporated, an architectural services business, is led by Nicklaus. According to the complaint, Nicklaus was paid $145 million in 2007 to supply exclusive services and property to the Nicklaus Companies, which he has failed to meet or has directly worked against. The complaint alleges 3 specific instances of Nicklaus's breach: receiving a significant cash payment for promoting the 2022 Soudal Open, a recently played DP World Tour event in Belgium, wrongful conduct involving a video game being developed with the Masters and PGA Tour, and wrongful conduct regarding negotiations with the PIF Saudi investment fund in which Nicklaus was reportedly offered $100 million to join the startup Live Golf Invitational Series. Nicklaus was also mentioned in the newspaper as stating he appreciated the Soudal Open inviting him to be a guest at the event next May. We have seen an increase in the quality of professional golfers produced by Belgium, Nicklaus stated. This includes Ryder Cup players like Nicolas Colsaerts and Thomas Pieters, as well as collegiate talent from Belgium. I am confident that the Soudal Open will only enhance the golf landscape in Belgium. The company effectively saved Mr. Nicklaus from himself by removing him from a contentious project that could have tarnished not only his legacy and reputation, but also severely harmed the Nicklaus Company's name, brands, and business. Mr. Nicklaus may have been pilloried in the national media for taking cash for what could be described as betraying the PGA Tour if it hadn't been for the efforts of Nicklaus Companies. Nicklaus released a statement through his organization. The claims made by Howard Milstein are untrue, Nicklaus stated in a statement. We have great admiration and respect for Jack and his legacy, and we have done everything we could to avoid taking this step. We are asking the court to clarify the parties' legal duties so that there is no uncertainty or misunderstanding. We are saddened to be in a situation that now necessitates court intervention, but we have a responsibility to Nicklaus Companies and its employees, as well as our customers and partners, to ensure that nothing disrupts the company's ongoing business. We are certain that by working together, we will be able to settle this issue promptly and peacefully. Niklaus has between 20 and 30 days from the date of service to reply to the complaint. Given that the complaint was submitted on May 13th, it is probable that Niklaus's answer may come during the week of the Memorial Tournament, which he has hosted since 1976 at Muirfield Village Golf Club, a course built by Niklaus and launched in 1974. Early in the 1960s, when the best pro players were struggling to make a living, a young lawyer in Cleveland called Mark McCormack came up with the notion of brokering arrangements for endorsements and exhibitions that would benefit both the players and him. His first customer was Palmer, with whom he co-founded the Contemporary Sports Economy. McCormack signed Gary Player as his second client and Jack Nicklaus as his third at the International Management Group. Palmer spent the remainder of his life with McCormack and IMG. Unlike his golf game, which frequently required risky bets, Palmer's corporate career was calm and dependable. He died a very wealthy man, due in part to IMG's ability to commercialize the alchemical relationship for him. Niklaus made a different decision at a young age when he was 30, and his father died unexpectedly at the age of 56. Niklaus left McCormack's stable and went into business for himself. "All I was doing was what every man must eventually do when he loses his father, growing up to the point of finally assuming full control of his own life," he wrote later. The legal question in the case is what exactly Howard Milstein bought for the $175 million to Niklaus. What the contract says isn't clear. By the time he left McCormack, Niklaus had already begun purchasing land for Muirfield Village Golf Club near his hometown of Columbus, Ohio, and the eventual home of the Memorial Tournament. Against McCormack's advice, Niklaus elected to fund the club's development personally, and he subsequently remarked, "The project did come awfully close to taking me down the tubes. Muirfield sapped Niklaus's resources before it opened in 1974, but it also launched him into a new career as a renowned golf course designer." As in tournament golf, Niklaus's successes as an architect swiftly surpassed Palmer's, but his commercial woes persisted. Attempts to diversify his own firm, then known as Golden Bear Incorporated, had failed by the mid-1980s. Two failed home complexes in San Diego and New York, an eyeglass firm, a radio station, and oil and gas ventures were among Niklaus's interests. By 1985, Nicklaus and the firm had discovered that they were in debt and at risk in real estate and other non-golf related endeavors. He won 73 events and earned $5.7 million in prize money, placing him 306th all-time on the money list. He brought in new management, divested non-golf related businesses, and focused on course design and a network of high-end driving ranges. He took the firm, now known as Golden Bear Golf Incorporated, public in 1996 for $16 a share, but his concept for a type of proto-Topgolf was ahead of its time and the ranges did not prosper. Two executives of his course construction firm were discovered to have fabricated records, resulting in a $24 million loss for the company. Niklaus purchased the other owners for 75 cents on the dollar and took the firm private. He began afresh with a private corporation carrying his name in 2000. Jack and Barbara Nicklaus established the model for philanthropic giving by golf superstars in the first decade of the new century, which Tiger Woods has decided to emulate. The Nicklaus companies retained the services of an investment bank and began seeking investors. Howard Milstein put $145 million into the firm, estimating it would be worth $1 billion when it was sold, and Nicklaus accepted the offer. Nicklaus left $20 million after taxes to each of his 5 children, which was not a large sum of money, but it was adequate in this day and age. The Milstein investment enabled the Nicklauses to broaden their charitable activities, which have raised more than $200 million for children's health over the last 2 decades. What are your opinions regarding this subject? Please leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed today's video, we would appreciate it if you could give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel by clicking the bell icon. This will enable you to be notified as soon as new content is uploaded. Thank you for taking the time to watch. We'll see you again in the following video.